Hello, Miss Shanklin. How are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm fine.
Good. It's pretty outside.
Yeah, it was nice today.
Yeah.
Not too cold, not too windy, just right.
Just right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. What brings you in today?
Just to talk. You know, I got some issues going on. Don't really want to be around walking in and out, talking to myself and giving myself an answer back, but just trying to get some clarity
it's okay to
on
talk
some
to
things.
yourself.
Well, see, where you messed up at is when you answer yourself. So,
Okay.
and just to get some, good advice on some things, and if I'm thinking right or if I'm thinking wrong, if I should be thinking that way at all, or is it really a big issue? Something that just, like they say, take stuff like a duck, just let it roll off the back of your neck or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? That's about all.
So is it a plethora of things? You want to create a list on some things you want to talk about today, and we pick out the biggest ones today?
Well, I don't think it really have it's a pile of stuff. It was a little thing that came to a big old thing. So I could say it's a pile of things, stuff that just got, just continually got swept underneath the carpet. So I guess it's really like coming to a head, or it done came to a head in my mind. So I just want to make sure that I'm in the right frame.
Okay, so tell me about those things that were you say were piled under the rug, or just
It was swept under the rug.
Okay.
Just how can I? Let me see. How can I start this thing? Okay. Don't you know when you have, like, say for instance you got, I'll go 5, which is even number. Say for instance you got 5 kids, right? And your oldest one is doing everything that they supposed to do, where you might have the other 4 just goofing off and not doing basically what they're supposed to do. And say for instance, me, I'll just say me. I'm the oldest, and I'm thinking that I'm doing right, but then you turn around, it's like I'm being accused of not doing stuff right. You know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking I'm doing it right. Or then I see where, say for instance, the other siblings, I'll say that do everything under the sun, and ain't nothing said. But then here I am trying to do right, and I'm thinking I know I'm doing right. And it's like, how it seems like you're getting picked on. So, something like that. Something like that.
All right, so I guess what you're saying is, just to kind of paraphrase, is that are you the person who's experiencing this? Or?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so out of your siblings, I'm guessing that the 4 other people are your siblings, like you said.
Well, I just call them. They're individuals.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So as the oldest child, you felt like you did everything that you were supposed to do. You lived up to your parents' expectations.
Right.
And when you look back at it, you feel as if, why was I picked on, or why wasn't the things I did valued compared to how your other siblings got away with things? Is that right?
Yeah, basically. Because being the oldest in the family, because my other siblings, they were younger than me, your parents always put you out there like in the front, and thinking really they supposed to, your other brothers and they're supposed to follow you, but it's like vice versa. They doing their own thing, but basically you being obedient. Okay, you doing everything that mom and dad say, and they don't let you get away with nothing. But the other siblings, they come in, and when they want to, they leave out when they want to. They don't do their chores. They ain't going to school half of the time. And to me, it just seemed like it wasn't. It not said seemed. It was favoritism, and I felt that me doing everything that I was supposed to be doing as the oldest, and then it just seemed like my brothers and them was just getting away with murder. you know. And once again, it seemed like I couldn't get away with nothing. I mean, nothing. And it was explained to me, you know, by my mom that we held you up in such a high standard because you was the oldest. But I don't think it was fair that, okay, I understand you held me up to a high standard. I get that. I do. But what I don't get to is that what if something that they did, if it was wrong, it was wrong. So why would you uphold them in righteousness? You know what I'm saying? Letting them get away with it. Where it was me, I'm the good child. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. But in the same token, I'm being mistreated from them. So, I mean.
So you felt as if the standard for you was different than the standard for your other siblings.
Yeah.
And you also felt like you should have been treated a lot differently or given certain privileges because you were doing everything you were supposed to be doing. But instead what you got wasn't what you expected.
Right, because you got
mistreated.
It's like when I was in high school, is that I couldn't stay after school. I couldn't get on the pom-pom squad. I couldn't stay after school for the games because I had to come home and babysit. Okay. But in the same token, as we got older with my siblings and them, a lot of stuff that they were doing, but I gave my mother and dad respect and not to do it at their house. Where with my siblings, they would go downstairs in the basement with their friends and do whatever and whatever. You know, and it really wasn't, it really, a punishment or anything wasn't given to them. But when they found out that I got squirmed, I got stuff taken from me and things like that. So I really thought that was unfair to me. So being the oldest, what I don't understand is being the oldest in the family. Why do I feel that I'm also the black sheep? Have you ever heard of that term of being the black sheep of the family? I didn't get that. And at the age that I am now, it's still going on today.
So I want to ask you this. What was the relationship between you and your parents?
Oh, my dad was a truck driver that stayed on the road a lot. So, you know, like most girls, you know, I was a daddy girl. Me and my mom, you know, we was really, really nice. We were close. We were close, but it seemed like when I got in high school, and I think in my junior year, stuff just changed. I guess with my mom, stuff just changed. And as with my brothers and them, when they got in high school, I know I'm of age, but still, you know, I'm not out the house. I'm not paying my own bills. I'm still at home. Where an incident, and I could say, an incident where, okay, I'm a junior high, and then my brothers and them was coming in as freshies and sophomore. I remember the time my mother went out school shopping for them. She didn't go out school shopping for me. So my freshman year in high school, all the way up to my senior year in high school, I wore the same clothes. Wow. So I kind of, that kind of bothered me.
So in one aspect, you said that you and your mother was cool.
Yeah.
But on the other end, you were feeling, I guess if I can say, left out when everybody else got school clothes and you didn't.
Yeah.
So
wouldn't you feel left out?
I would. So I guess my question is to you. So was it really a cool relationship?
I thought it was. I was obedient to. I thought it was. I didn't.
But from her actions, it seemed like it spoke.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
Yeah. Especially the one that didn't give her no problems. You know, came straight home from school. I'm not gonna say I'm an A student. Well, I was like an AB student. My mother didn't have to run up, back and forth up to school for me. In elementary nor high school. But my mother stayed up at the school for my brothers and them, grammar school and high school. So I mean.
So just to give you an overview, what he you have expressed to me is, um, your parents
Mm,
held you up to standards,
mm,
but you didn't get a reward from that system.
no.
Hmm.
Mm-mm.
But
Well,
at the same time, your brothers wasn't held up to the same standard, but they were rewarded. They did get to do everything they wanted to do.
yeah, yeah, pretty much, pretty much.
So, are there feelings of resentment?
You know what? I don't. Well, when I was coming up, no, I ain't a coming up. Yeah, and right now today, I do feel, as the world say, some kind of way. I feel some kind of way. I mean, hey, I feel some kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because my thing is that you have two parents, and you love them to death, and as a child, you want to please your parents in any form of fashion. You want to like, yeah, that's my baby. You want to get there, right? So when you do your best and give your all to your parents,
That's okay.
you know what?
That's okay.
I really thought that I was over this. Even at this age, I really did. You know, there's a saying that my mom said, put on your big girl drawers or your big girl panties. And I'm too, at the age I am in, you know, I love my mother. With all that's within me, don't get it twisted. I haven't been such a perfect child. You know, I've done my wrong too. But you know, if I can sit down at a table and put two columns up and write pros and your cons, or your good and your bad, and I could truly say, without shadow of a doubt, that all my good have outweighed my bad. And not just a daughter, but even a son. Children want the acceptance from their parents, and they want their love from their parents. Because coming up, that's all what you try or thrive to do is to be pleasing. And I'm not gonna go spiritual in this talking with you. I know love, it does cover a multitude of sin. I do know that. But then sometimes, you know, you close your eyes to the hurt. You close your heart to the hurt and the pain. But then every now and again,
you have to face it.
You open up your eyes and see that it's still there. And what I don't understand, I've spoken with my mother about this several times, and she conveyed to me that she didn't know that that's what she was doing. But I say this too. If I'm constantly telling you that you're hurting me, to me it just seems like you're not hearing. You're not hearing me.
So, have you ever thought that her being your mother, that she could only give you what was given to her. Have you ever thought about how her mother treated her?
And I know some things start from the way you were brought up. But it's an old cliche, baby. When you know better, then you do better. Then my thing is that when I had my children and the way my mother cleaned to her boys, it made a difference from the girls. I've always said that I would not do my kids like that.
It's okay.
It's dark.
It's okay, Mom.
So that I wouldn't do my kids like that. So it's like I don't cling to one to Junior more than my girls. I love them equally with all my heart and really not and showing no bias. Because if there's something that you doing wrong, I'll say something, or the parent, me, and my husband, we talk to our kids, and things of that nature, because I didn't want to repeat what was done to me.
So pretty much these events, in your early life and growing up, instead of it having a negative effect, I mean, we still see the negative effect that it's having, because you're still dealing with it, even at your age. But it has brought about some positives as well, to where you didn't carry that into the ring of your own kids.
Yeah.
You've been a better mother.
Yeah, you could say that, yeah.
You've been a better mother. You've been a better
right.
wife.
It's one thing that my kids will be able to, cannot say that my mama shows favoritism. My kids can't say that. And if they say that, they are just a bald-faced lie. You know what I'm saying? Because I hear my kids out. I have different conversations with each and every one of my kids, and basically, even when they're angry with one another and things of that nature, I listen, and then I say, well, we've all fallen short, so continue just to pray. Let's just pray. And then if you have an issue, or if that's how you feel about your sibling, then, y'all need to talk that thing out, because they can't, one person can't think for the other. If I don't know how you feel unless you tell me, I don't know I said something wrong to you in a roundabout way unless you tell me. So I also convey to them, if y'all work that thing out between yourselves, because I don't feel that, the age that my kids are right now, that we need to always be referees. Because, we tell our kids that mom and dad is not going to always be there. And we're not. So you have to learn how to work out whatever issues that y'all have between yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you could say that. Yeah, even though out of it coming up, yeah, some positive came out of. I vowed to myself that I wasn't going to have my kids feel the way I felt like less than. And what I've noticed, and my husband has always tell me about, you have to stop dealing with low self-esteem. And I've come, and I haven't shared this with him, in the last 2 years, I realized where it comes from. It's not me just having low self-esteem because he's not around. It's about basically how I came up, because I'm always trying to please him, do what I need to do for my husband as well. So sometimes you got to reach back. A lot of people don't understand where low self-esteem come from. But if you come from a family that, that all your life saw you did was right, and it seemed like all the right you did was wrong, sometimes you don't know if you're going or coming.
So you wanted that acceptance. You wanted that, that love from them. And
I wanted to basically be loved right. Fair. Fair. My husband have a thing that he always get on just anybody that's around him that knows him. Love fair. And, oh, God, That's his word. Love fair.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I guess that's all I want now, because my mom's still, living.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get to. How's your relationship now?
With my mom, out of all these years, it's still the same. Mm-hmm. And it's sad. It is, and it hurts. It really, really hurts. It does. But this too shall pass. It will. It will. It will. And I do understand stuff that kids go through, or they feel that their parents done took them through. It all comes from what they were reared up in. Mm-hmm. Because I do know that my mother only had an 8th grade. She only got to the 8th grade.
Okay.
Back then, and my dad only got to the 7th grade. And I understood that. And I also, as I got older, and it came to my understanding is that when it came to my mom only did to me what her mom did to her, that she experienced. But I'm like, when, in my mind,
in your mind,
I'm like thinking, well, Mom, when you had your children and you knew how your mom treated you as a daughter, wouldn't you want to say to yourself, well, I'm not going to do my daughter the way my mama did me? That's what I did. I said, I'm not going to do that. So.
Well, I understand your hurt, your resentment. I have an understanding of where your low self-esteem stems from. It stems from your early childhood and not feeling accepted, not feeling that nothing you did was enough, to please your parents, and you saw there was bias. There was a bias between you and your siblings. But before we go any further, I want to do an exercise to where we confront those issues and then try to figure out a way to try to not get over, because it's going to take a minute to get over it, but really come to some type of resolution inside of yourself, whether to accept that, just accept that, what happened, or, reconcile with your mom, okay? All right, so what we have right here is a cup, okay? This is a cup, all right? And what I want you to do is I want you to poke a hole and identify where your low self-esteem come from. So, for example, okay, you're looking like, what are you doing?
Okay,
all right.
Really?
So, for example, I will say my issue is I don't feel pretty enough. Okay, so I'll poke my hole in here. Let's just get it all in there. Okay, because that's a big issue for me. Okay, and then I ask myself why. And I confront that and say, I'm not pretty enough because when I was younger, I always got picked on. And then we're going to reflect on those feelings. Okay? Okay? So try to do this. And I know it's probably going to make it get emotional again, but we're gonna try to sort out these issues and for you to really understand who you are and why you feel the way you feel.
By punching a hole.
By punching a hole in the cup.
In the cup, anywhere.
Yeah, but you gotta have a reason why. So I feel whatever way, and then you poke a hole in the cup, and then we're gonna confront why you feel that way.
I feel that maybe I was treated that way because I wasn't a male.
Okay. You wasn't a male. So
maybe I should have been a boy. Maybe I should have been a boy.
Okay.
And not a girl.
Poke out another one.
Another one. it's still stemming back from the first hoe. Because I know my mother loves me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, I still feel she don't love me because I'm not a boy.
Not a boy. Okay. All right. So that's the second time you answered that. You said that statement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Explain to me, what do you mean by you not being a boy? Explain that.
Because coming up, my brothers and them didn't do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They had no responsibility. None whatsoever. Mm-hmm. But they stayed underneath my mother. Mm-hmm. And my mother nourished them and she loved them. Mm-hmm. So if I was a boy, maybe I would have not been going through what I'm going through right now. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
You scared
But wow,
me?
that's a big hole. Wow.
Okay, so
that's a big hole.
Why is that hole so big?
That hole big, because that's pain right there.
Okay, that's pain.
Yeah.
So is that the void? Would you describe that as the void? Of not having the relationship you wanted with your mother?
Could be. Could be.
I don't want that to be what I said. I want to see if that's what you truly feel in your heart.
I don't think I have a void. There's just and like I said, I love my mother. There's just a ache, a pain in my heart when it comes to my mother. Mm-hmm. Really, and I don't have my dad. Mm-hmm.
So the loss of your daddy.
Because I really feel that if my mother felt a kind of way towards me, she wouldn't have showed as much if my dad, because my dad would have never let my mama hurt me. You know?
So you feel as though your daddy would have been your protector.
Yeah, but you know, I understood that he had to work to provide and care for us. But I really wish he was around a little bit more often than he did. Because when we was coming up, you know, when I was coming up, if you ever heard of latchkey kids,
I'm familiar with that.
We were, you know, we had to come home from school, and we had to go in the house and, you know, lock up. Don't let nobody come in the house. Don't be on the phone. Do your homework and stuff like that, because our parents had to work, and I understand that was a sacrifice. So coming up, you know, you had to cooperate with your parents, because them being at work and you at home, you know, back then parents could have gotten in a lot of trouble too. Mm-hmm. But then a lot of stuff happened, you know, at times that a lot of guidance wasn't there with kids that had to come straight home without any guidance or parental guidance in the house, you know. Mm-hmm. So, you know, when I was coming up, I had to basically be adult before time.
Okay.
You know, I had to be adult before time.
So you didn't have a childhood?
No, I had to grow up fast. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out the role that you played in your family. So you were like a caretaker. You were a mother. You was a mother to your brothers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I had to. I never forget, at the age of 9, my mama taught me how to make hamburger helper. Was the first meal that I learned how to cook. And I think I hamburger helper my brothers and them to death. I remember one day, I think it was hamburgers, macaroni, and cheese. And they like, hamburger, macaroni, and cheese. Okay. But that's all I knew how to cook.
You was just doing what you
was like,
you
oh
was
my God.
doing what you knew.
You're right. Again.
Mm-hmm.
But they ate because they were hungry.
Of
You know?
course. I
Or
would
either,
have ate if I was
right,
hungry
or
too.
either peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter. Well, give me a peanut butter jelly sandwich, please. So we got some milk.
Mm-hmm.
But I think our hamburger helped them to death. So at the age of 9, and I have my 3, who was it? Derek, Mo, and Byron. Them 3 under me. So if I'm 9, they were like, what? Derek, what, about 7? What? Mo, 4, what? 5? And then I had my little baby brother. He wasn't 1 as of yet. You know, but my mother had a babysitter for him. But when I got off home, you know, then they would bring the kids to me until my mom got off to work. And, you know, she worked the midnight shift. So from getting out of school at 2:30 and getting home at 3 until 12 o'clock at night, you know, you got to, when you come home, your mom expecting them kids that done ate. You done got your homework out. You got your school clothes out. And my house is clean. And them kids is in the bed.
Wow. All this at 9.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
At 9. I had a lot.
So
Even though she had, like, the neighbors and our next door neighbor on the right-hand side, her name was Miss Liz. She knew I was in the house by myself, so she would always peek out the door or the window or call, because if the phone rang, I knew it was 2 people, either my mom or Miss Liz. And she says, everything all right over there? And I would tell her, you know, yes, ma'am. Then my mom would check in, or she would come by in the van and come by on a break and check and make sure everything was all right, make sure I locked up and did what I have to do. So I'm in today society, you know, if it was me, and if I had to do it over again, or if I was in my mother's shoes, if I was my mother and my mother was me, I think that 1 or 2 things would have to go. Either I would work in the daytime while my kids were in school, so when they got home, I would be at home, because that's how I did my kids. If I did work or go to school or whatever, when they went to school, I went to work. So by the time they got home, I was already home or on my way. Once again, from the way I was raised up, I didn't want my kids to, or my oldest child to be responsible, not so responsible at an early age, before time. I guess before time. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand that girls take on more responsibility than boys anyway, and they mature a little, you know, quicker than boys. I do. Yeah. But to put on the responsibility of taking care of 3 kids and cooking 2, and you doing what you have to do for yourself, that's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
That pain that they go hold.
That's a big one. I'm sorry.
That pain is where all of that stemmed from. Yeah. That's a lot to handle. To be 9 years old, having that much responsibility, having your childhood taken away from you, and having to deal with the stress of not being rewarded or acknowledged for your hard work and for your consistency and for the sacrifices that you made to help your mother.
Because my dad was, you know, a truck driver a lot. So even in my household, my mother had to basically wear the dress and the pants, and not taking anything from my mother. I knew it was hard. She was doing what she had to do, but I think sometimes parents forget, and I always call them little people. Little people have feelings too. They do. And I feel that a child shouldn't have to grow up quicker than they should have to, or put so much responsibility on them before time, because I always felt coming up I always felt abnormal. I didn't, I always used to think that I wasn't from here. You didn't know that? Mm-hmm. Oh, I never shared that with you. No. Yeah, I'm sorry.
You haven't shared a lot of things.
Yeah. I thought for a minute, I thought I was an alien. I'm like, I'm supposed to be. I was just here for a minute. I came from somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Really, for a minute. I felt really, really strange. I'm like, so really, really strange.
Do you think that was your way in your mind of escaping the world that you were in?
Girl, I don't think I escaped. If I would escape, I wouldn't feel all that pain. So I'm saying I didn't feel abnormal because I didn't get the opportunity. No, I didn't feel normal because I didn't get a chance to do what I saw all the other kids do. I didn't get a chance to do none of that. Mm-hmm. I didn't get a chance to do that. So I'm like, I used to say, do I really supposed to be here? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I used to think like that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have about 5 minutes left.
Okay.
So we're gonna just kind of wrap up the session.
Woosah.
How do you feel?
I feel good. Mm-hmm. Down in my soul. Mm-hmm. I feel good. Mm-hmm. It's all good. You know.
So low self-esteem. So do you ever think that you will try to reconcile with your mother?
See, that's the thing. As years and years went by, it's always been maybe 2 years past. I would go visit my mom, my husband, and I would tell her these things, and we would love and kiss and hug. Then a couple more years and go by and go by and go by. So, like, this is 2016. So, I mean, we're back at the same place. Mm-hmm. See, I think, I ain't gonna say if I moved on. Because the pain is gonna be there, but I know I'll get over it. Mm-hmm. But it seemed like, at times you bury the pain, mm-hmm. but it's like at your least moment, you could be just sitting or listening to music, and it'll creep up. Mm-hmm. And then, you'll find yourself crying, or you're back to asking yourself, why? What did I do? Mm-hmm. So I goes over in the back of my mind, trying to see exactly the day that whatever went on. Mm-hmm. What did I say? What kind of mood? Mm-hmm. What did she say? Okay, did I say something wrong? And I'm always trying to see if I'm in the faith. I'm always, you know what I'm saying? Because you're supposed to examine yourself too to see if you done said something wrong, or did you do what you were supposed to do right.
And I think what you stated earlier is that you did everything right. You did acknowledge that you wasn't always the best child or did everything right, but for the most part, you did do everything that was asked of you, and you did respect your parents. So I just want you to take a moment to accept that and counteract that negative thought. That, you know what, I did do what my parents expected me to do. I did do this. I did do that. And accept that, okay, I did my part. I did my part. So whatever they did towards me has nothing to do with me. It is not my fault. The fault is then on them. Right. So kind of start accepting that it was nothing that you did wrong. It was maybe something that they were going through or did not acknowledge early on.
But I understand that, and I have accepted all that. It's just the hurt.
The hurt.
It's just the pain there. You just... I'm going to fill it up, though. I'm going to fill it up. I'm going to fill it up. It's filled up with a whole bunch of love. It is. It is. I just don't want it to be a repeat. And
it won't be a repeat.
I just don't want to be a repeat. So, because... that being my mom, and I love her, now it seems like sometimes you get on the defensive. Your guards is up now. So, okay, I got to watch myself. Now, I can't really be laxy-daisy with you the way I want to, because, see, you might have hidden agendas. So I got to be on my guard. And see, you should not, a child should not have to live that way with around their parent. They should.
So have you considered changing your mindset and changing your thinking? That way you don't give her the behavior that she expects from you. Have you thought about changing your perception?
I've only gave my mother good behavior. You know, nothing negative.
When I say behavior, I mean when you come into her presence now. So kind of have in your mind that, you know, I'm aware of what you did to me. You hurt me. But I'm able to move on from that. And I'm not going to allow that past hurt to dictate my future or to hinder what the relationship that we have left.
See, that's a good question. I think right there, that's kind of where I'm stuck.
You're stuck there.
I'm stuck right there because I got to still deal with some stuff. I still got to deal with some stuff.
Well, I hope you felt relieved. You were able to express some hurt, some pain. You were able to reflect on some hurt and pain.
Yeah.
And hopefully in the next session, we can... hopefully in the next session, we can probably find some good ways and positive ways.
And maybe we can fill this big old hole up.
And fill that hole up.
That's
maybe some
hole.
Ways of, you know, filling those gaps and filling those voids and being able to cope with acceptance of the good and the bad. Okay, so I hope to see you in the next session. And give me a hug. Aww. All right.